So I had quite a big project going on, which is a 3D multiplayer game, which was entirely written in Visual Basic. I used a .NET Framework version 2.0 and a DirectX 9 or Direct 3D 9. Means you can actually run this game on a Windows 95 machine, but well, I'm currently running it on a Windows 10 machine with an Intel Core i5 processor of the Skylake generation. Um, I had no issues running it on other Windows versions. I tested Windows 7 and 8. The only problem I ran into in Windows 7 was that opening up the server splash screen took quite some time, but well, that seems to be a Microsoft Windows related problem. Well, if you download the game, you've got this folder with model files in here. It uses the EGM model files, which are engine tonic models. The engine running behind the game is called Engine Tonic. It was also developed by me. You've got a folder with sound files in there, and a folder with textures. Um, if you see the numbers behind the minus, that actually means you can define the alpha level of the picture, meaning 2552550 is the white without transparency, which now becomes the alpha channel of this texture. You've got the HallWayAndParadise, the game itself, and the HAP server. All of the DirectX files and the model files need to be in the directory where HallWayAndParadise are in. You could move the server.exe wherever you want to, but the HallWayAndParadise file itself, the game itself, needs to stay in this directory. Otherwise, it will not work properly. You could open the game, but first of all, we open the server. You can like check this checkbox down here, which gives you the ability to start it with Windows. So if you start up your computer, the server automatically starts. Over here, we've got the log writer. It tells us that the engine ran the map builder, which started and then finished 1 second later, and it built the entire map for this online game session. Also, they told us that we started the server at this IP on port 2000. Port 2000 is the standard port for this game, but you can also change it. You've got some settings here, which only take effect after you restart the server. There's another known bug. If you stop the server, it will prompt a message box telling you that it has to quit the entire application and that you have to open it again because of some problems which are related with initialization of the game server. You've got certain options. You can change the server's name, the server's description, and the maximum amount of players in the game. Also, you've got a password. You can use black and white list. You can encrypt the server. If you do, it uses AES 256 encryption. So CPUs with built-in hardware AES encryption will speed up the server's operation quite a bit. You can also change the server's image, and the millisecond time it takes to refresh the server and all the variables on it. Also, you got a number of maximum log items in here, and you can also dump the log file to a text file, which will be created on the computer's desktop. If you open the game now, you can choose which graphics adapter you use. The graphics adapter -1 is CPU vertex processing, software rendering, which is very slow. You can use VSync, prompted in FullScreen, use anisotropic filtering for the textures, and you can also choose a texture size, the number of bitmaps, and multi-sample anti-aliasing. The rendering distance, well, keep it quite low unless you get your CPU overclocked quite a bit, because it can slow down and drop the frame rate to around 40 or something if you go behind half of that. This rendering distance is just okay. You can now prompt the servers menu. I delete the server to show you how you can just add a new one. You enter the IP of the server. If you want to forward the IP to make it public on the internet, you have to use forward it for TCP protocol and HTTP, because it uses just the hypertext transfer protocol we know from web browsers and so. Well, it shows us the image of the server, that it's encrypted, the name, the IP of the server, the ping rate, the player count and the description. Ping rate is quite big because, well, the server is local. It now tells us to enter a password. If we enter this one 333, it tells us the password is wrong. If you enter the correct password, which is 123, it will prompt the game itself. It tells us that, well, our name is Gaylord Seaman, and it's just selected out of a random list of the 10 worst first names and the 10 worst last names. So it's just weird names, which it gives you. It loads all of the textures and models. That thing can be speed up, and I'm gonna do that in the future. But well, for now, that's okay. Well, you can run around in that game. You got the trees, and you can like fly around and jump around, and you can collect items. And the basic idea behind that game is that you go to the hallway, which is somewhere in the middle of the map, always randomly generated, and what you do is you search for 6 so-called sun stars, which are blocks with like a sun logo on them, and if you collect 6 of them, you win. If someone shoots at you, you die. You after a while, and you lose all of your stars. And well, if you get 6 of them, you win. There's nothing special happening right now. I have to like build up the game and make it better so something real will happen. So you run around and jump around, and actually you can go into the buildings. In these buildings, you've got certain teleport points, which you can TP to, and close to the trees, we've got certain items, which, well, the player collects. You've got something on here, you jump at it, and you just got the Raider item. You can use a mouse wheel to scroll, and WASD to walk around, and your mouse to view, change your view. The right mouse button uses the items and also stops them, and the right mouse item shoots things, and you can shoot at other players. You can't aim. Well, probably gonna do that later. You can collect some ammo, and this item here, which I got selected right now, the green item. It's a teleport item. Well, if you use it, you go to one of the rooms. Sometimes they got holes in them, so you can just get out of there. But for now, well, you could just go to one of these TP points and be teleported. Well, it takes some time sometimes, and you have to be close to it. It's some randomly generated stuff, and it will teleport you to another room. If you're lucky, not always, sometimes, but the item will always get you somewhere else. Sometimes it teleports you close to items, so you actually get another item if you use it. The Raider item and the Flashlight item are like you can use them forever. They don't disappear, but other items disappear quite fast after the first use, mostly. Well, you can get out of there. Try to jump. It's kind of not perfect. Well, I tell you, oh, I was all there almost. It can be better. It can be improved. Well, yeah, and we found a hallway, which is here. It got one entrance somewhere. You have to find it, get into the hallway, and collect all of your stars and or sun stars, and then you just won the game. You can also hide in some of the like places in the bottom, on the bottom of the whole map. Well, you can climb trees. You can actually fly up and shoot around in midair to make the fights more spacey. Well, if you die, you get teleported somewhere close to a tree, so you can find a new item quite fast, because you lose some of your ammo, and also you lose all of your items. And after a while, more and more items are being spawned. You can collect them. This, for example, is a speed item, speed like fire, and if you press that, you're quite a bit faster for a while. Well, over here we've got a life item, which increases your life. And yeah, that's just basically it. You can shoot, you lose some of your ammo. Oh, that's basically the game. Can be improved. You can go through the bottom and go through the ground and fly up and down and shoot somewhere in outer space. The only thing is, after a while, it's getting darker in the map, so you better go ahead and find a flashlight. Also, fog is being made, so yeah, you can't view as much anymore. Your visibility gets worse, so better find a flashlight so you will be able to walk through this map without any problems. Another TP item. What about finding a flashlight item? That would be great, I would think. I'm not finding it right now. Well, they're spawned somewhere in this map. Just go around and... Well, I know. The jump can be annoying, jump sound, but you can just go ahead and mod your audio files, your map file, your model files, and your textures just the way you want to. The server itself can be modified. You can just view the I/O commands, basically what the server gets and what it sends via Wireshark or something. So you can like mod the server and make the maps the way you want. Well, the engine itself, it's just alright by me. I don't want anyone to decompile it and use the software in a different way. So yeah, I would basically say that's just for playing and running around. Well, if you jump somewhere close to the ground and try to jump through it, you get through it. So kind of digging into the ground and then falling through. And yeah, try to find all the items because in a few minutes it will not be very visible and you get some issues running around and finding all of the stuff you need. Okay, that's basically it. If other players join the game, up there where my name Gaylord Seaman is, you will find other players' names and items and life and everything. So you know what's going on with them. I hope you like it. Just download it and well, walk around a little, play a little. It would be nice to give me some bug reports if the game crashes or something, and also give me some information about what you would like to improve. I know it's nothing fancy, but it's just a little hobby. I just wanted to finish it before I visit university, because it was a dream of me all the time to make a 3D game, and now I succeeded in a way, and I hope you appreciate it. Thank you. Goodbye. See you next time. Gonna escape.